Hi, I'm Chef Leo.
Hi, I'm Chef Theo, and this is The Confessions of a Private Chef. Season 1, Episode 6 on recipe development. Hey, Chef, how you doing?
Doing great, Papito.
Oh, good to be back.
It's great to be back. It's been a long week, man.
Dude,
Having to wait. We record on Tuesday, so waiting a whole fucking week.
Oh, man.
It's weird because it's like, it's not work. It's more fun than what it is,
For
work.
sure.
So I'm always looking forward to Tuesdays, and especially having people on coming. Because, it's fun just you and I hanging out, man. But when you have people like this guy coughing right now, it's like, it's badass.
Yeah.
So who do we have on today?
Dude, we got a really cool special guest. I just met a couple minutes ago. If you want to introduce yourself real quick, that'd be great.
My name is J.C. Balek. I'm the estate chef at Becker Vineyards.
And JC stands for what?
Jean Claude.
Jean Claude. So you're French, right?
Yes.
You're not in your head, but people can't hear you, man.
I'm French by injection, yes.
I've never heard that, by injection.
That's fun.
God. So, both of your parents?
Both my parents.
Yeah. So I was hearing a podcast with, who was it, man? O'Connell. God, what is that guy? The late night show. He is
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien, dude.
Yeah, I love it, man. It was funny. I was listening to him, and he's a full bred on. What is he? He's
Irish.
Irish.
Yeah.
And so I guess you would be, full on Irish, maybe. But the funny thing is, in order to be full on Irish, there has to be a lot of inbreeding.
Oh, for sure.
Going on. And so if anything, man,
Right.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like those chihuahuas with the
With the tongue hanging out. Yeah, man. That could be you, bro.
Mhm.
But
Could
anyways,
be.
JC,
Could
man, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah.
It's a
My
pleasure.
pleasure. It's my honor.
It's crazy because, we followed each other as soon as he came to Texas. He's from California, man, from Califas.
Yeah.
So it's like, I saw this guy, and the first thought that came out of my head is like, dude, he's coming from California, and he's wearing this cowboy hat. Man, this fucker, man, it's crazy because you have to be accepted if you're from California here in Texas, especially Fredericksburg. When people are like,
for
when you hear
sure.
you're from California, it's like, get the fuck out.
Exactly.
And so you better be good at what you do, man, because it's like you got a lot, a lot of those boots, you got to fill them up pretty good in Texas.
Yes, sir. Well,
Yeah.
the cowboy hat and boots. In college I rode bulls, so I've always been into like little western.
Yeah.
Always in my life, but
Yeah, but it's night and day because
Yeah.
you're this badass chef, during the day working Becker, you see him and he's like proper. And then there's another side to him that's like mind blowing to me because being this cool white cat, you get more you get more of that Latino side influence coming
Hell
from
yeah.
California. And most people are like that, but this guy is like, he lived the life. So in order to live the life like he did and still pull off Michelin star and do that, it's crazy because we know in the kitchen, you go to any kitchen, any nice restaurant, you got your your Hispanics working in the back, from somewhere,
Mhm.
in South America or Central America. So it's like that's 90% of the people working
The
for you.
workforce.
Yeah, totally.
exactly. And I think that's the reason why is, I made it a point to learn Spanish. I made it a point to get close to the culture, to the people,
Yeah,
just
because of
because
that.
any white chef, any white boy chef walks in, in their nice coat and is, hey, chingadera over aquí.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and whereas the Mexican guy, like, chinga tu puta madre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you connect with them and are able to, then later they're going to start speaking English to you.
You're right.
Because I know they speak English.
Yeah.
I heard you on your damn phone.
Yeah.
You
It's like, what the fuck are you doing this to me now, man?
Yeah,
It's like,
but it's
shit.
all right. The first time that I ever experienced that in the kitchen was in Napa. I got promoted to the restaurant chef of one of the hotels there in Meadowood. And I got to my kitchen and not one white kid in the kitchen, which I expected. I knew already. They didn't know I spoke Spanish. So I kept it cool this time. I didn't say anything.
Everybody talking shit about you behind your back.
Non-stop. My mother was a whore. I'm gay.
Yeah.
Like everything in the book, right?
Uh-huh.
So I said, hey, on Sabado, reunion, meeting. And he said, okay, chef. And then he said, puta mami, reunion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we get to the meeting, I sit down, and I did the whole thing in Spanish. Everybody's jaw dropped to the ground.
Like, mira cabrones, así va a ser.
My mother's not a whore. I am not gay. Ask your sister. You know what I mean? And from that on, that was like one of the best kitchen teams I ever had. They had my back no matter what.
That's badass, man. As it should be, man. It should be. If not, find you those that you can have trust in.
Exactly. And I give them gifts for all their kids' presents, and I mean for their holiday, their birthdays and all that stuff. I knew their names. I mean, I spend more time with those guys than I do with my own family.
Of course, man. That's why all chefs get divorced for the most part. When they're there.
I'm on number 2, so wedding that is.
Oh yeah, right.
That's cool because once you kind of gain their trust, especially when they know that you speak the language and that you understand their culture a little bit,
right.
It's almost like you break this barrier.
It is, but you also have to show them that you work.
That is the truth.
You can speak Spanish and know that their daughter's name is Luella, and their dog's name is Chiquito, but
you got to grind with them.
If you're just sitting there with a clipboard in your hand or in your office all the time, you're still gonna get.
You're gonna get picked on, man.
And then when you walk away, you know what I mean. You're gonna get talked shit about.
Yeah.
So you have to show them that you work just as much as they do.
Yeah.
Totally, man.
For sure. I have seen that on the firsthand experience, so I know exactly what you're talking about. When you can just stand toe to toe with them as far as how the prep or working the line or whatever it is that they are doing, if you can do it as much as they do it, because most of the time they're the hardest working people.
Absolutely.
They're the backbone,
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely.
I mean, I paid my pot washers more money than I did my sous chef.
Yeah, I mean,
most important person in the kitchen.
It is the most important. 100%.
Yeah, they could keep up with your shit. If they can't keep up, and you turn around and that plate isn't there.
Right, and especially in fine dining, you have a different plate for every course.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
Yeah,
right?
and you're flipping those tables, man. You better fucking be fast and not get the fuck out.
Exactly.
I'll find somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those guys need their just desserts and.
Oh yeah, totally, man. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the hardest things to find in this town in Fredericksburg is a damn good dishwasher.
Yeah.
People don't know, how. I was doing some consulting for a restaurant in town, and I remember this guy that we had washing dishes was about 70-something years old, man. But if I put a dirty spoon down, I would go turn around and I'd have another clean one right there, man. He at the end of the night when we fed him, we didn't, and it was crazy because he was a he was a vegetarian, Presbyterian actually, and so whatever we want, whatever he wanted, we would make.
Hell yeah.
If we didn't have it in the kitchen, we'd send somebody to HEB and go get it.
Hell yeah.
But that's how we treated. He treated him like a god, and he was worth every freaking penny and effort.
Absolutely. My sous chef even once in one kitchen, he's like, I just saw the payroll. How come Carlos is getting more money than me? I said, because he works harder than you.
Period.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Straight up.
Yeah, dude.
You have a title, but so does he. He keeps the shit running.
Yep. It's not just about a title, man. It's your worth as, as
he's
an
more
employee,
important than any of us are.
Yeah.
Dude,
he gets it done. People don't get it, man. That's badass.
So, Chef Jean, tell me a little bit about how you ended up in Texas, of all places.
Well, I mean, after being in California for most of my career, it gets expensive after a while to live there, especially after a divorce too. And I have
you're paying them still.
I have a 17-year-old son. So it's not cheap to live there. Just to say that, I live in the Napa Valley. Yeah, it's pretty. There's grapes. There's grapes here too.
Yeah,
it looks pretty much the same. You know what I mean? The grapes pretty much look the same. But my wife and I wanted to move to the South, and this opportunity came up, and
jumped on it.
We just figured, if I were to move to Mississippi or Arkansas, I don't know how much work I'd be able to find unless I did something on my own. And even then, I wouldn't know how receptive it was. So I know in Texas, there's lots of barbecue. In Fredericksburg, almost every restaurant, even some of the Latin restaurants have a schnitzel on the menu.
Oh, dude, that's the truth.
So I figured, okay, at least my food is different than anybody's here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see. It's a winery, so people, it's all about educating the people and showing them. And so far, it's been pretty receptive. I mean, of course, I get some people like, that's all I get on the plate. You know what I mean?
Are you serious? Do you really get it?
Of course.
Yeah.
But when you're doing 7 courses, I'm not going to, everything has to be in a certain, certain portion.
And I mean, they should know what the hell they're getting. You're looking at posts that you're doing already, and you still have the balls to go buy, the tickets for. What I mean, how much are the tickets going for?
They're like $145.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a totally different concept. You're going and having bites. Even if you go to any like Andrucci's and you have their little pairing, you're not getting full courses, So to go with the mentality that you're gonna get this, big ass.
Right. Like I mean, I think what they're thinking is like, I saw a Texas portion for breakfast on Sunday. My wife and I went to Sunset Grill.
Sunset Grill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or not the one off of Main Street, the other one.
By
the hospital.
That's
Sunset.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So I haven't had chicken fried steak since I've been in Texas, and I saw it, so I got it. I mean, I just finished it this morning.
Mames.
It was humongous.
Yeah.
And for the price, I mean, that place was fantastic.
That's a lot of food.
It was good. I mean, it was delicious.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you're doing these tasting menus. I think you said, what is it, the last Sunday of the month or something?
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday of the month. So run me through a little bit of that. Like, so does the menu change every time? Is it something that you're recreating? So this episode, we're pretty much, we brought you in. We want to talk about recipe development.
Right.
So when you're doing something like your tasting menu, how do you go about? Where do you even start when you're starting to brainstorm or put together a menu?
Where does your vision come from, man?
Yeah.
Well, first it starts. I mean, it's very different for me in the winery because every single dish is paired specifically for one wine. Right. So it's not like in a restaurant where the menu could be paired with a shot of tequila, a Coca-Cola, a bottle of wine, or whatever
the fuck you want to drink,
whatever you want to drink. So the menu, the chefs can be a little bit more. They don't have to be more as focused on the taste or the flavor profile of the wine. So first we get I look at the farmers market. I call my ranchers. I call some of the farmers. I see what's going to be coming up during that time. And then I write the list down, I look at it, and I just start coming up with ideas, But I always like to do, because we are so few in the kitchen, you have to design the menu to where you're not, like, working on every single course.
Right.
Exactly.
So you have to throw a couple cold courses in. You have to put, like, this way we could plate them, we could put them aside. And then whatever finishing touches we do right at the end.
For sure.
And then we have, like, 2 or 3 plated dishes where we focus on those plates.
So you're taking a lot of thought and consideration into your environment.
Yes, absolutely.
And what you can execute, and how it's all going to play in the timeline.
Right, and sometimes at the end of it, it's how the hell did we do that? How are we able to pull that off?
Good
I love
planning,
those
man.
moments.
Good planning, because I mean that's what a chef is. Basically, somebody who plans and organizes and keeps everything.
Yeah, like for the Eclipse, it was the first time we did 300 people, 3 courses, and I mean that was a mess. I was just freaking out. But then the morning of, I'm looking at mise en place. The meat came out perfect. Everything is resting. I'm like, oh, now it's just putting it on the plate. We're good now. We're fine. No, it's easy.
Yeah.
Wine, please. You know what I mean? And you start plating and you bang it out, and that's the easy part. It's just getting it prepped and getting it conceptualized.
Yeah, and that takes like 4 or 5 days to do sometimes, just from the time you get started, with your paper and say, dude, what do I want to make? And then gathering the shit, then.
Exactly. I mean,
you're not doing everything in one day. I mean, people that think, 300.
I'll write a menu like in 20 minutes. I'll have a little motivation.
Yes. A little help.
Yeah. A little motivation. And then I'll just start thinking of dishes. Yeah. Knowing what's in season already.
Yeah.
And I start writing it down. I wake up the next day and I'm like, oh, whoa.
Depends how good the motivation hit.
We'll get rid of this one here.
Yeah.
We'll rework that, but I like the concept. So
that was at the peak at the motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was right before.
It started crashing.
Before you start talking about all the sweets, right?
Totally.
7-course pastry menu.
Chinga.
But no way. No way. I don't have the patience for that.
That's why you have HEB and go buy it, man.
Exactly.
Put it on the plate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, like I said, it all starts with what I know that the local food shed is going to provide, and if they can't, what I can get from HEB, because that's my other only option here. You know, what specialty goods I can get. You know, truffles in season, what's in season. And then I know what's in season. Then we start writing the menu, and you have to think about what season it is too. In August, I'm not going to do a beef bourguignon.
Yeah, of course not.
117 degrees outside and a big old stew.
Texas,
No.
So, you know, I do a lot of more crudos, more raw things, more compressed. Like I'll use like molecular modernist techniques to change textures and flavors, but still make you feel as if you just had in 3 bites, you just had a big plate of food.
Right.
That's amazing.
Because of the flavors. And I believe that every flavor has to fit with the next course.
Correct. And has that been your style since the get-go? When you first got started, did you know you were going to go down that rabbit hole of being a little bit more modern, a little bit more?
No, it wasn't until I moved to Spain that I started messing around with the molecular stuff. Where I was in Spain, it was in a winery, and our wines were the house wines at El Bulli. So I would go once a month for the weekend and just fly on the wall in the kitchen. I did that for like a year. You know, just messing around, prepping.
Did you keep up with like what Jeff Munoz is doing there? You know, one of the he's been rated number 1 chef in the world like twice in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
So his shit, it's like
I mean, it all started with an idea for an Adria I had, and now look at all these chefs, right? Like Buret Sege, Jose Andres, who I think is doing the most noble thing with his world-centric kitchen.
Yeah, totally.
Putting himself at risk to feed people. I think there's nothing more honorable than that.
No shit.
I'm getting emotional. I'm sorry.
About the balls on that guy, man.
It might be
that dude's legit. Honestly,
I mean, he needs a cane, man.
Yeah,
to walk
for
around
sure.
with that.
You know, and his restaurants are super successful. And I don't know if you've eaten in any, but I've eaten in at Mini Bar, best meal of my life. Jaleo. I mean, I love Spanish food, and it was, I mean, just spot on, just dead on.
Yeah.
Like if you just close your eyes, you think.
Well, I mean,
you're in
after you
Spain.
had that, it's funny because here, I was looking at a picture somebody posted on Paella this morning, and it was like, this shit isn't Paella. You know, when you look at what paella is supposed to be, and what, you know, if you had it in Spain and then you come back to the States, you kind of, you know what to expect out of a paella.
Exactly.
You know? And it's not hard.
It's not. But the true paella is the Valenciana. Otherwise, it's arroz.
Yeah. Arroz con pollo, man. I mean,
arroz or whatever. Arroz negra, arroz con gambas, arroz whatever, mari montaña. But the true paella is the snails, the rabbit, the lima beans, which is all weird as all get out to me. But if you have a proper one, and one made by somebody that actually lives in Valencia, man, there's nothing like it.
It'll change your life.
Yeah. You're I mean, and I'll be honest with you, though. I see it as, I get it to be authentic, but there's also, you know, just because you're authentic doesn't make it like the best. You know, I mean, it can be great. It can be great, and it's a great experience to experience something that is truly authentic. But, you know, to step out of the box and create something with a little flair or whatever, you know, there's always road for improvement in everything you do. You know, it's fornication if you put chorizo español in a paella, right? You know, they see that shit and you're like, fuck, that's stupid. You shouldn't be doing that. There's a Wikipedia just on paella.
For sure.
You know, and it tells you, they tell you where to go, where to have a true authentic paella, even in the States, anywhere in the world. It's crazy. But, you know, once you put that chorizo español, man, you're a fucking nutcase. You know, you shouldn't be doing that.
But see,
I
agree with you, but my sofrito, I have chorizo in my sofrito.
And you know why? The fat makes everything better.
And the flavor of the
just enhances
pimentón,
the smoked paprika and shit. It's just so. I mean, there's, you know, but I get what you're saying, man. Truly authentic, you know, have a Valenciana paella is just
right. But I mean, I'm not like that, but I just know that, like, if there's a true Spaniard listening and say, no, it's paella, you know what I mean? Joder, tío, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I mean, paella in the United States, if you put it on the menu, paella.
Yeah, they're not going to know.
Everybody knows what it is. It's a big thing of rice served in a big
But they don't know what the
zarzuela and
But unless you tell them the true.
exactly,
And
but they
they'll
don't
say,
care.
"Oh, okay."
Well, I like the one with the mushrooms. Okay,
Right.
then have the one with the
Or
mushrooms.
they'll come back and the rice is all soggy. There's no soquerat on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And people are like, or you'll get the soquerat and people are, why is my paella burnt?
Why is it burnt?
Oh,
It's
right.
burnt.
Yeah, it's like, fuck
Exactly.
you, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
flavor.
yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we used to test. I mean, when I worked at Coqueta in Yountville, it was Michael Chiarello's Spanish restaurant. I was the executive chef there. And when I worked with him, I originally worked with him at Trevina in Napa.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me Francese in the kitchen.
Okay, you're French, yeah.
And then when I left Trevina, I went to go work with Gary Denko at the Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco, who's a famous California chef.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael Chiarello made me tell every single person, ask them in the kitchen if it was okay that I took on this next opportunity. Because if ever one day I wanted to come back to Chiarello's organization, they're going to remember that I left honorably.
Right.
Wow.
So when I came back to Napa, I saw him at a bar, and Michael Chiarello, and he's all, Francese, I'm all, what's going on, chef? He's all, you still doing Spanish food? I said, yes, sir. He goes, I said, call me Spanchese.
Spanish. Sound like a fucking Hollywood producer,
So he
man.
said, come work at Coqueta. I said, okay, let's do it. But it was all open fire.
Yeah, that's badass. I quit. You
It
threw your
was
fucking
so
thing
hot.
and
It was
took off.
crazy, that kitchen.
Yeah, I went to in Manhattan. There's a place kind of, we were talking about this a while back, like Italy, but it's Spanish version, and they have where they're making paellas on an open fire pit. It's crazy. It's like a 10 by 20 foot open pit, and these have an exhaust vent, and it's like they're knocking out like 20 paella pans at a time.
We did everything off of the back kitchen, like croquetas and all that. Obviously, we did it in the fryer. So
course.
the back prep kitchen had a gas range, but us up front, was just
Fire.
it was all fire.
Yeah.
And then my sous chef Bobby Wood, he actually cooked in cowboy boots and Wranglers, and
Hell yeah.
I thought it was Jotito, but he's actually.
But that's okay, right? If it was Sotito,
But I
that's
thought-
fine. No pasa nada.
But
no
I
pasa
found
nada.
out he was, which is fine.
Yeah, no te agarran la nalga, estás bien.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, just gently. It's
Yeah.
fine. But I thought it was crazy, but he was a bull rider as well. He was
Yeah.
a cowboy. I mean,
Yeah.
but he would build a fire
Hell
in
yeah.
the morning, and I said, "What are you trying to? You trying to cremate a Rottweiler? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I mean, we're outside and it's hotter at the door, at the front door, than it is outside in the summer because
Yeah.
there's just radiating heat out
Yeah.
of this thing. Fire coming out there. So, oh my God. So we moved him away from the fire,
Yeah.
and I lit the fires.
Yeah.
But it helped. It was just nonstop. Being, what people don't understand is, you get these beautiful dishes and whatnot, and nobody actually looks into the kitchen and sees what's going down.
Of course.
And it's just like really fucked up, like punk rock mash pit ballet
Yeah.
that goes on, especially when you have to keep a fire stoked.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
And
hell
the
yeah.
oven is fired stoked. So you have to check all the time. So you're moving a paella here on your knees, opening the oven and stoking the fire. I mean,
It's
was
almost like your
intense.
primal instinct kind of kicks in.
but I loved it. I loved
You
going
know?
home and smelling like carbon and cancer. Honestly, I mean, it was. I loved it because it was primal. You're absolutely right.
Right.
It was very caveman.
Yeah, it was like your instinct from past civilizations just kicks in, and you're like, oh, I know exactly. Like, I need to
Exactly.
get this thing hotter. I need to just cool this one down. Whatever it is you need to do, you kind of
Exactly.
you have the feel in the moment of how to get that done.
Exactly, and you can tell by like the marks on the meat or the sizzle of the paella or at the rate that the stock reduces, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So, and you
and
have
you're
to
using
listen.
using all your senses.
You have to. Any
You know?
good cook needs to use all their senses. It's like you can sear a steak and be plating something, and then the steak stops yelling at you in the pan, so you know it's time to flip.
right.
Right, so you can just do it.
Yeah,
You just do it. You know where your pan is. You do it with your hands. You're not worried about burning yourself. You're worried about making perfect food for the people that are paying with their money that they worked for.
Mm-hmm.
hell yeah.
And that's the important part. It's not like the blue aprons and the
It ain't McDonald's, puppy.
and all that stuff. But how consistent is McDonald's?
They're pretty fucking consistent.
Everywhere in the world but
Yeah.
France. Well, in France, it's horrible. They use raclette cheese on their burger. It's
shit.
disgusting.
Yeah.
It's gross.
But what about the El Royale with cheese?
Oh, that's in Holland or something like that.
Have you ever been to one in Italy, man? They had that.
No.
They had one of the biggest McDonald's in the world was in Italy. It was 3 or 4 stories. They had a basement. They had a pasta bar, a gelato
Oh,
bar.
good Lord.
The McGnocchi.
Yeah, I know vomits. But when I was there, they had the big Texan,
The big Texan.
and they served it with wedge
Oh my God.
with like steak fries.
Oh, good
instead, and it had bacon, but it was like a junior Whopper with like cheese. It was tiny, man, for being Texan.
Big Texan.
But yeah, I mean, but they're consistent, bro. So you want to, you strive for that consistency that McDonald's does, but on a higher quality,
But with
more
real food.
luxury.
no?
Yeah,
You know,
right.
With food that actually
Not
like
soybean burger,
like
yeah.
soils and spoils. in the
yeah.
end.
Not Frankenfood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That's cool. So I think demographics also play a lot into menu planning. What do you think, Chef?
I think here, not as much,
Okay.
because I think that certain cuisines are just foreign here. So you just let her go and see what happens.
See what happens.
But I find myself like last menu I did a sous vide pork belly with grits and grilled peaches.
That's so Fredericksburg, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because
Yeah.
I figured I want to keep something
From here.
from here. You know what I mean? So every menu I try to throw a little something from what I understand as Texas food is, or from what I've seen so far.
Mhm.
I have yet to do a schnitzel. I don't have the space to do schnitzels for 40 people.
Fryer, big ass fryer.
But
You don't have a fryer in that kitchen.
I have
just
one
thought
from
about-
HEB. I bought
Yeah,
one
but
on
I
the
just thought
tabletop.
about that. I've cooked in that kitchen before at Becker, and
There's
it's
no
like,
fire,
yeah, it's weird.
Mm-mm.
Do y'all have a grill?
No. I have a grill outside. I bought a pellet grill.
Yeah. Do you wear these Dukes when you use that pellet grill? Have you seen those?
Just la tanga.
La tanga, la
Yeah,
tanga.
but backwards.
In calzadillo de un- Oh, I got you. So it hangs over to one side, just enough to hold the balls up.
Yeah.
Cochino.
Yeah, well, you gotta air out.
Yeah, that's right. Especially around that heat. Shit.
But
I
no,
love my pellet grill, honestly.
Yeah, and then we have a big old
I expected
like
that from
pit.
you.
We have
Yeah.
a big old pit as well. That
Oh yeah, hell yeah. But
We
there's nothing
could-
like cooking over an open flame though.
yeah, we just did a 87-pound pig in that thing the other day.
Hell yeah.
That was fun. That was a good. We finally nailed it. We did a 187-pound pig
On that grill?
on that one in the back, the big the brick thing.
The rock one, yeah.
Oh boy, it
I saw that.
it took forever, but this last one we did, we finally figured out time, temperature,
Oh, shit. Just
size of pig,
Yeah.
and it came out.
Buy a cajachina for
Ridiculous.
$300 on Amazon, man.
I
Be
love
done with it.
cajachina.
Yeah.
I love
Me
cajachina.
too, man.
Hell yeah.
Well, now that I hope they're listening.
Well, yeah. Sponsorship cajachina.
No, Becker. So,
La Becker, ándale.
But the beauty with that, you could do what? You could do a 90-pound pig.
Yeah.
You can do 24 chickens,
Yeah.
a crap ton of quail.
Yeah,
right?
dude.
You
Yeah,
know,
hell yeah.
mussels, clams. I mean, anything in
Yeah.
there. Oh, I love that thing.
Big, oven, man.
I love
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot more. Texas barbecue is very integral here in Central Texas and all over the state. And I've been seeing a lot more whole hog cooking coming. I've seen a lot of these bigger pit masters
Right.
kind of start to do whole hog cooking. More of like the Carolina style. I see a lot
Exactly.
of. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like we created, I happen to like the more mustardy, vinegary barbecue sauces. So we created a Hill Country Gold
Nice.
barbecue
Mhm.
sauce. So we use peaches, Dijon mustard,
Mm-hmm.
French's mustard,
Just in case anybody out there wants
pecans, and
Wow.
we just bring it up and blend some honey, some lavender honey,
Yeah, blend it all together.
and
Multiply it.
it came out so
Phenomenal.
good. It was so good. And then we roasted this pig. I was like, oh boy. And the pig came out perfect. My sous chef was watching it the whole time, but I have a thermometer that could be anywhere on campus and look what temperature
on
it
your
is.
app. And
So we pulled it off of the spit, and then I have a warmer in the kitchen, like a plate warmer.
Mm-hmm.
But we kept it. It goes up pretty good temperature, so I brought it to 190, and we just let it sit there overnight. And we got there in the morning with gloves. I put my hand straight through the ham,
Oh, dude, hell
straight
yeah.
into the bone.
Yeah.
You're like, I nailed it.
I was like, oh man, I can't wait.
if
to
you
eat
closed
this.
your eyes and did that, it would be like,
I was like, and then the skin was like perfectly glass. It was like
Oh yeah.
thin like paper, like glass. It was, and the pig came from Waymaker Farms in Dost, and
That's cool.
they did a really killer job on that pig.
Hell yeah. So would you serve it with, or
Con gris, so black beans and rice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't do plantains because I don't think I can find plantains here.
All right, dude, HEB
Oh,
get it for you
that's true, yeah. Anyway.
next time.
It's almost like a Puerto Rican style, Cuban style.
Cuban
Nice.
style. Yeah, I did that because in Spain, everybody in my kitchen, well, I only had a few people in my kitchen. I had one kid from Spain, one Catalonian, and I have to separate the two.
I was gonna say
because
they were probably fighting the entire time that we shouldn't be part of fucking Spain.
you have
right?
to, yeah. I'm glad I didn't have a Basque too, because then I'd be screwed in that kitchen. They'd be fighting each other all the time.
Yeah.
Like they want their own World Cup teams. They all each
my
want their own
Yeah,
World
of course.
Cup team. But the family that worked there was Cuban. They were refugees. They seeked asylum in Spain, and they worked in the winery. And they were really nice people. And every Sunday they would invite us to their house, and they would roast. The grandma would roast the pig, and do the con gris, the plátano maduro, the tostones. I mean, it was, and then just rum.
Yeah, of course.
Hell yeah.
And then
Straight up, man. Straight up.
cigars. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it sounds good, man.
I think I'm way off subject.
No, dude, fuck
No,
that.
no. We're riffing.
I got my mouth full of
Yeah.
water, and I'm gripping
Yeah.
that fucking cigar, man. I'm gonna have to put a ventilation system in here so we can
Oh,
light them
yeah.
up.
That'd be cool, dude. That'd be cool.
I
Chad.
know. I got to work on that.
So what do you think about seasonality? So we were talking a little bit about seasonality. What's your favorite summer dish? Like, what do you think that what's something that you would just love to serve in the summer?
I love anything to do with melons and tomatoes. I know it's very generic, but it's
No.
the height of what's in summer. You know what I mean? And some of the pigs are being harvested now.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Main pigs all year round, man. For me,
It is,
Fuck
but
yeah,
it's
dude, but yeah.
you know, there's a certain, you know, if you stick with the season of when the farmer and the rancher is doing what he's doing,
Mhm.
it's a lot easier to write a menu.
Mhm.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, right now we just did that's actually my favorite dish I think I've done at Becker so far. It was just like a stone fruit and melon salad.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a little watermelon gazpacho,
So
sort of on the glass. It looked like glass on the plate.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had peaches that I confit in our Malmsey wine.
Mm-hmm.
I had watermelons. I had canary melons, which I compressed because they weren't very sweet. We had a couple of tomatoes. I used like different blossoms and flowers, melon blossoms,
Oh, very
and melon
pretty.
shoots.
Mm-hmm.
And this dish was, and buffalo mozzarella from Oro Bianco,
Yeah, I love
Great
Phillips makes-
stuff.
Yeah,
which
Phillips makes
is
some great. He's a badass.
ridiculously good. Ridiculously good.
I mean, even like you could go back to California and take some of that stuff, and they'd probably be blown away.
It's way better.
Yeah.
I will say it. It's better than any. I mean, we have De Stefano. That's in or Sebastopol, which is not too close, not too far from Napa, and it's very good. But this is,
Phenomenal.
I mean, I don't know what it is, but what they do then Buffalo. But
They're stroking him, man. They're
keep
stroking
doing
him.
it. Keep doing it. I just bought some of the buffaletta, the feta cheese.
Oh, that stuff's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, all the shit they make is badass.
Yeah.
I can't wait for their chocolate that's going to be coming out
Ridiculous
next
chocolate.
year. It's going to be sick, man. Yeah, they're making their own,
Buffalo milk chocolate.
No, I don't know if they're using buffalo milk, man. It'd be nice. I mean, it'd be cool. We should
Makes
ask
sense.
Ashley that.
Yeah.
We
Makes
didn't ask-
sense, no?
We just had Chef Ashley here the other day. Who's
She was talking about the chocolate. Yeah.
and her
Doing
and
a
Phil are
smoothie.
doing it. It's gonna be great. But how about those shoots, man? Are you getting the shoots from Five Roots? What is it? Let me see.
My boy Kyle.
Yeah, Five Roots
dude,
Farm.
Yeah, Five Roots. Yeah, the guys.
Yeah,
Those-
Kyle's sick. Yeah, he's
yeah,
good.
Yeah, he's got the cantaloupe shoots that are
That's-
fucking sick.
That's
yeah.
what I'm using,
Yeah.
and I like him because it's whatever I want.
Yeah, he's got a large selection of stuff.
He'll
that you can
grow
choose.
it. No,
yeah.
but even if he's,
if you don't
he'll
have it,
grow
he'll
it.
grow it. Yeah, yeah.
like,
And he's
like,
fast.
I got some red shiso the other day for
Mhm.
a dish, which is, I think I ate half of the box just
Yeah, picking at it.
just picking at it
Yeah.
before we even
Yeah.
got into service.
The bull's
but,
blood is cool too. I mean, but
yeah, all of it's delicious. The basil is. All of it. I love the popcorn shoots. I use those a lot. You see them
Mhm.
on the pictures. I just think any animal that eats corn, you should put a popcorn shoot.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
cool.
plate. I mean,
Which most animals, man, that's you get them fat.
well, yeah, well,
Yeah, but
properly raised animals.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Excuse me.
it's okay. You want some more tequila? We're pouring, brother. I mean,
Oh,
there's
man,
no.
just
Oh, chingada madre. There
just
you go. You got it, brother.
Poquito.
So everybody, we've been drinking, man. So if you hear all the knocking of mics around here, it's because we got the bourbon now, we got the tequila, we got the Corona, and and Mr. T's hanging out with us today.
Yeah, Mr. T.
We'll have to
Hell
kinda,
yeah.
Did you see my Mr. T?
He's badass.
Yeah, dude. My father used to buy toys everywhere, like garage sales and stuff. So he picked this up and he gave it to my son, and I dug him up. I actually saved him. I was doing my
That's
son's
awesome.
room.
I still have all the Star Wars figures from the 70s.
No shit, dude.
Dude, some of those are worth money, I'm sure.
Well,
Yeah.
not the way that I mean, that's all I did was
You actually used them. You actually played with them.
yeah, I did. And my
Yeah.
son has them now. And I have the what, Darth Vader carrying case.
Oh, that shut up, really?
You
I
know,
remember
have
that.
everything.
My cousin used to have that, man. We
All
put all
that
the
stuff.
action figures in that.
Oh yeah, man. It
Yeah.
was crazy. We used to have some fun with that nonsense.
Oh, dude.
So what part of, let me ask you this. So I know you worked in Yountville,
Yes.
but what part of California are you actually from?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
That's cool. We got family there.
Which was very beautiful at one point, and now not so much.
Yeah.
It's got its. I mean, it still
It's,
has its parts, man. You still got the piers.
Yeah, the view.
Yeah.
You have views, but
From a distance,
like
Yeah.
dead
Oh, yeah.
center.
Yeah, I get it, man.
So what would you say, like, cuisine there? I know it's also very much a melting pot, but, being a kid from San Francisco, what's something that your mom cooked for you, or like your grandmother, something memorable?
Well, my mom was. I never really met my grandparents, but my mom is French. So anything Californian,
No.
never. But one thing that we ate, aside from steak frites,
Yeah, all the time, right?
all the time, that was like a staple, at least twice a week. Very protein heavy, but coq au vin every Sunday.
Wow.
Oh, very nice.
At Christmas, a goose.
Mhm.
Until we moved to California, and then it became crab because of the Dungeness crab.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Which pollution now, we can't really get those either anymore. So way to go, humans.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Way to go. Very traditional stuff, and usually like on Saturday afternoons, if there was soccer on, which there usually always
Yeah,
was,
or somewhere.
she would make a steak tartare. That was my dad's favorite, with like pumpernickel rye bread and
Mhm.
Oh, hell yeah.
raw onions and things like that. So it was like I always wanted to eat like my friends did. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Well, my friends growing up were Mexican, so I wanted to eat all that stuff. you
Carne
know what I mean?
asada, man, on the weekend.
And my parents didn't know what the hell carne asada was. They didn't know what a tamale was. They didn't know what any of that was until, they lived more in California. But I always wanted to eat a hamburger.
Mhm.
I never ate. I grew up on foie gras, duck confit, and I'm not trying to sound
Shit,
fancy,
no.
but that was just
the norm.
That's-
It's like being Mexican and eating those things that you're calling now, man. That's
Exactly.
what we ate. That's what you ate.
because
Yeah.
my family in France, they raise ducks for foie gras. That's why I have like foie gras tattooed on the inside
Uh-huh.
of my hands. So we would eat duck like all the time, and the family would always send like mason jar, like moonshine jars, like full of foie gras and duck confit.
Hell yeah.
I mean, so we would eat that all the time,
Yeah.
and I thought it was delicious.
Fuck yeah.
But I really wanted a friggin' McDonald's cheeseburger. I wanted a Big Mac.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted Carvel ice cream. I wanted,
Yeah.
I wanted all those things that my friends had. So every time I had the opportunity to do a sleepover,
You take out.
I was
Gee,
like
yeah.
stoked. I got to eat like fucking frozen dinners and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like shit food, but it was delicious to me. And
Totally.
to this day, I'll open me up a can of Chef Boyardee every once in a while. I don't
Heck
care.
yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I used to have some Wolf Brand chili the other day, man. That's
Oh,
fucking
dude,
bad.
not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
Stuff's
I
good.
love it.
For chili cheese dog.
Fuck yeah. I used to have it straight out of the can, man. It was like, I'm on a diet, man. So it was like, that's 7 points with beans.
You're
So
like,
it's more
boom.
points without beans. So it's like, I better have the beans.
Right.
Fuck yeah, dude. But it's good.
But in California, there's just in San Francisco. I think per capita is probably one of the best restaurant cities in the world.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know?
You got some great chefs working there.
But it's in Spain they call it cuina, or in Catalonia cuina d'autor. So
Mhm.
it's basically there's no label to it. There's no this is French food, this is Spanish food, this is Puerto Rican food, this is
No, it's
it's just whatever the chef thinks of.
Yeah.
And that's what I think needs to come here too.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
sure.
just chef's inspiration, and you know,
Yeah.
It's funny because that's when I order at any restaurant that I go to, and if it's a nice restaurant, of course, it's like whatever the chef wants. And it's like, what do you want to eat? I go, what does the chef recommend? And so it's like, let him pick.
exactly.
And that's the way I like to order. But it's funny because now that I've been as busy as I have, I don't get those opportunities to go out and eat.
Yeah.
When he said, "Hey, you want to come to my dinner to my the chef's table," and I was like, "Dude, I'd love to, but I don't think I can. I'm booked." And it's like, "Fuck!" And you go look at your calendar, and it's like, "Fuck, I'm booked."
Yeah.
As much as you want to,
So
do that.
I mean, it's
Crazy.
easy. It's the last Saturday of every month. So the one last Saturday that you don't have anything going on, you hook me up and we get you
block
in.
it off, man.
There we go.
You guys come together or whatever. I mean,
Rock and
Dude,
roll.
holding hands, shit. Fuck that.
they can do whatever you want. I don't care.
No mames. No, they can back.
I think both wives might be a little angry.
Right, what are you
you
doing?
go.
What you do? Oh, dude, we do a podcast right there at the table, man. Bring
That'd
the
be
mics
fun.
and sit in the corner at the end.
And sit right next to the dock. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, he probably hate that, man. He really doesn't want a lot of shit going on, so he'd be like, "No, you can't do that either."
No, I mean, I think he's just super proud to have like something like Bunny Becker, his former wife, who passed.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Her
man.
whole thing, she was in the Escoffier Society. She was,
Yeah.
she was
Yeah,
a gourmand for sure.
yeah.
And this was like one of her dreams, So it's like sometimes when I'm alone in the lavender house, sometimes I feel her presence. You know
Yeah,
what
dude.
I mean?
She was. I got to meet her a couple times, man. I've known her for a long time, and Dr. Becker.
Right.
And so the last time I went, I do the the pairing for their lavender festival.
Yeah. I remember.
And it's great. You get to do whatever you want, and hopefully pair it. Dr. Becker's been able to attend and and check out the stuff and talk about it. And it's really interesting every time he speaks on a subject.
Right.
And I think the last time I went, what really stuck out to me when there's a lot of Q&A going on, and the question that came up was how many wineries are successful and how many failed in the Texas Hill Country area. And I don't know if it's the same for California. You being that you were in there, but it's like how many do fail and how many do I mean, of course we know the ones that are successful because I mean they're worldwide, but in Fredericksburg you would expect a lot of them not to, because since we're new, we're the third biggest wine country here in the US, and it's been like we don't know, we're still young, but that was the question he got asked, and his answer was that they all make it, they all are successful, because being if you're small, you make 10 cases. I mean, you steal the shit out of that fast, and that right there is that's a success, because I mean it takes work to create these wines, and once you make them, you hope that somebody can buy them and appreciate them, and once they do, the word travels. We talked about on the marketing segment, it's like best way to market is by word of mouth.
Absolutely.
You can have some badass images and stuff, but if you don't if there's nothing to back it up, and the person doesn't say, "Hey, I've tried that and it's good." That's the thing with food. If you don't put that stuff in your mouth, man, no one's gonna know.
Exactly.
An image can only go so far, but it's gotta be the flavor, but not only that, but the personality. You are that personality there where you're at, wherever you go. So people go for the food, but they also go because of you, because of your background, of your knowledge that you have on food, and of course how good you make that food fucking taste. So it's like, I mean, that was really cool to hear that from Dr. Becker,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love cooking. I mean, I don't know how to do anything else. I know how to get in trouble.
You'd probably be building cars,
Right.
You'd be building
Yeah,
bikes.
I can slam a truck and a car, no problem. You know what I mean?
Heat those coils up, man.
I could probably boost one too, no problem. But
Give me a clothes hanger.
it's just something about like, because of the sort of way that I came up, and I came up old school in the kitchen. It wasn't like you go to CIA and and you have the green neckerchief and a toque and all that bullshit. That's not what it is. That's
Right.
not what it is. It's hard ass work.
I know.
It's well,
It's
know,
true.
both of you know,
Mhm.
it's and coming up in kitchens like that, it's horrible. I mean, it's
People think it's badass. You
they
see
do,
pictures like, yeah,
but it's like
yeah.
it's you get belittled, you get berated, I mean, I got hit in my
Yeah.
apprenticeship. If
Fucking that's why I work for myself, man. Nobody can fucking hit me, man. Or
well, now now
rate me at the end of the night.
I get to the point in my life where go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Your cholo comes out, man.
you can start, I'll finish. It's all
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean? It's all good. But I don't like any of that stuff. I mean, it's just,
What part don't you like? The
violence. I
Oh,
don't-
okay,
I don't
yeah.
like any of that stuff. Sometimes it's warranted, but there's no need for it.
right.
There's no need for that.
There's no
man.
need for any of it.
Say that to the guy that you put the the teeth to the curb, man. And they're,
My wife always wondered why.
Should have
she,
kept it on the. No,
she was
kept
always
it in the
like,
kitchen.
yeah.
how do you work with these people for 12, 13 hours a day, and then you can go out and have a drink with them? I'm like, because it's like
It's
it's a
different.
camaraderie.
Mhm.
You
have
have
this
to.
sense of camaraderie.
You kinda
It's
have
like
to.
you kind of build this like relationship when you're essentially doing this dangerous job all day long with these people, and your kind of service is such a feat of an act of sheer brute force,
Mhm.
and then you get through that and you're like, of course, it's like going to war almost.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to tell my cooks like this. It's like, during prep time, whatever music you guys want to play in the kitchen,
Me vale madre.
I don't care. But everybody, one day it's you, one day it's you, one day it's you, and I don't want to hear, I don't like that music. Well, shut the fuck up and prep. That's
Yeah.
what you need to be worried about is your prep. And this is just a distraction to keep you focused, right?
Right.
Like baseball players chewing gum or chewing tobacco. It's to keep them focused.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you're out in the outfield,
Yeah, no.
you're bored as all get out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's what
But
you
you have
do.
something to.
Entertain you for the main.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I forgot where I was going with all that.
Oh, speaking of which, what is your? This is a topic that we've talked about. Not to squirrel a little bit, but what's your choice if it was your day for the music choice?
Hmm.
What would you choose?
Well, I listen to country music.
I did not see that one coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
yeah.
do.
Who do you like, man? Because I'm old school country. I like George Strait, Willie,
Yeah, I
Waylon.
like George Strait. I like
Hank.
all the outlaw country. I'm probably gonna get a whole heap of shit for this.
Yeah, tell me.
I like Morgan Wallen a lot.
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
his
dude,
music.
That new Post Malone song
A
is
lot.
pretty sick.
Yeah.
That what's her name? Jessie Murphy.
Yeah.
She's just kind of cool. She's kind of like me, right? It's like she looks all gangster,
Yeah, but she
sings like some
Yeah.
some country lady.
Yeah, she's old school.
But there's a local girl, Katie O'Neill.
Yeah.
She sings really, really like. She's only 19 years old or something like that, but she sounds like
Yeah.
Patsy Cline. And
Yeah.
I mean to say it because she sounds that
Like
old
Patsy.
soul
Yeah.
of
Oh yeah.
country music. You know what it is to be country.
Yeah. Have you been exposed to a lot of Texas country here? Like
Not yet. I really want to
Oh,
go
dude,
to
yeah,
I haven't been to Lukenbach yet.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't been-
we'll have to go together, man. You know what? I'll take y'all both, and we're gonna. Do you play any instruments?
No,
Oh, that's,
the
You-
recorder.
you know what we'll do, bro? We'll bring some spoons. Practice some spoons, man. Since you got plenty laying around.
They're all in my truck.
It's funny because there's a lot of badass Texas country music here, man. I mean, locally, find a gig that Mike Blakely. Mike Blakely is a local
Mhm.
guy. He's a songwriter. He's written book with Willie Nelson.
Oh, cool.
He is here in Fredericksburg, man. Out towards, I believe, Lano. Mike, if I'm lying, if I fucked this up, I'm sorry, brother.
Mhm.
But Mike Blakely is a badass. I did it when I had a recording studio for about 15 years. I did one of his albums, and the guy, he writes poetry, writes books, and you can all his songs are stories. But he's got a super unique voice, man. Plays guitar, mandolin, true rock star in the country
Mhm.
music. He sounds stupid, but yeah, he is. He wrote one of the songs that was played back, and every time the astronauts go into space, they play a song coming back into orbit,
Mhm.
and his song was one of them. They played the last.
that's cool.
Yeah, a while back, man. So it's really cool. It's so to have somebody here locally that is that badass, it's really cool. So check him out, man.
Yeah,
That's
for
a
sure.
plug-in for Mike Blakely,
For
but
sure.
the guy's a badass.
That's
yeah,
cool.
I'm looking forward to checking out
Yeah.
all the stuff that around here has
There's
to offer.
there's a lot, man. You're missing out being stuck in the kitchen and in the
Yeah.
box. You're missing out on a lot of really cool stuff going on like that, especially in the music industry. here in
And
Texas.
my son's coming in August 6th for a couple of weeks. So I don't want him to be like, I don't have a PlayStation or any of that mess.
Yeah.
And I was going to take him fishing, take him with my buddy to go hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he shoots anything, but just to see.
Yeah. What
You
do we
know?
do in Texas?
Just
Oh,
to see,
yeah.
because
Or shoot some,
if you
ski
get,
shoot or something, man. It's fine.
yeah, I mean, you have $1, you could buy a hot dog. you have a gun, you can fill your freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
Have a pole, man. Same thing for
you
the
have to
fish.
think about that.
fishing.
Exactly. Like I want to take him fishing. I want him
Yeah.
to do some sort of Texas thing. I mean, he works out a lot. He's a big rugby. He's on like the California State rugby team.
That's
He's,
badass.
he's about to be drafted to all these universities, I think, to play rugby,
That's nice.
both in Europe and New Zealand and here. So we're waiting to see. I'm hoping it's here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Keep tabs on your kid, but you want to experience cool stuff.
No, he lives in Canada right now. My ex-wife really wanted him to go to this boarding school.
Mm-hmm. You got some lana? Yeah. yeah.
That's why I don't have my ranch. That's why I don't have my, you
yeah.
know what I mean? But my own restaurant or,
Yeah, of
but
course, man.
his education is more important than my ego. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Well,
Well, it paid off, and it sounds like he's gonna have a great career ahead of him.
I hope so. I mean, he's got some brains on him, but I think he's counting on
yeah, his
the rugby. Like
career,
I did.
his sports.
I counted on sports. I would never got to college if I didn't play soccer.
Yeah.
Ever. Never, ever, ever.
Really?
I knew how to ride a bull. Never, ever, ever.
So soccer got you into college.
It did, absolutely.
Yeah. What college did you go to?
I was drafted at the time. I played 2 summers with San Diego State University, and at the time it was the best soccer school in the country.
Wow.
And I was doing Olympic training at the same time, and then I got promoted to the training team for the Olympics in '88. And then you probably weren't even born yet, huh? But I'm kidding. But then I blew out my knee,
Mm-hmm.
and then San Diego State heard that I blew out my knee.
Mm.
So I ended up playing at Cal Poly. And when the season was over, it was kind of a shitty team. I mean, I was playing soccer, but they gave me my major. I didn't pay for school.
Yeah.
They gave me my major, and it was agricultural business. So basically all I had to do was sit on a tractor for like 4 hours, 1 day a week. And then the rest I was training.
Damn.
But where the tractor was where the rodeo arena was.
Ah, yeah. So you
So
did that. Yeah.
I didn't sit on the damn tractor. I went and watched those guys.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
then they're like, "You like seeing you're the soccer dude, right?" I said, yeah. He goes, "What are you doing around these bulls?" I said, "That looks fantastic to me. It looks super fun." So they put me on a mechanical bull,
Yeah.
and I stayed on.
Oh shit.
Then they put me on a smaller bull, and they were like fucking with me. I think they wanted me to fall off so they can laugh at me, but I was so scared. I held on for all, with all
For your 8 seconds, man.
with every single like prayer in the books, and don't kill me. I don't want to die under a bull.
Yeah.
And then the coach was like, "Who the hell is that dude?" He goes, "That's that soccer player." And he's like, "Well, shit. Does he want to ride rodeo? Does he want to ride?
Yeah.
Does he want to be the 5th rider?"
So did you?
I did. I did it. I did it for a year until my last ride, and
Ah, damn. Then you went to the kitchen.
no, then I went to the hospital.
Intermission.
And then I went to
get-
then I went to sort of a little downward spiral and gotten a little
Yeah.
problemas,
Yeah.
but had a little vacation. But then but after that I decided I needed that discipline. I wanted that discipline.
Yeah.
You know what it was to be on a team, what it was to be single. You know, like riding a bull, you have a team, but it's just you.
Yeah. At the
There's
end of the
nobody
day.
else riding on you. You're not riding the bull with
Just
you.
you and the bull, man.
Right? So it's you know.
So did you get any professional training? Did you go, like when you decided I want to cook? Did you say I'm going to go attend this school, or I'm just going to?
I didn't go to school first. I did an apprenticeship with a French chef, Jacques Robert, in San Francisco, and it was at the time when it was like Ernie's and Emilio's. That's the restaurant. Massa's. This was like the French mafia of like Hubert Keller, like all these top French chefs in San Francisco. It was like the French mafia of the kitchen.
Yeah. So,
And I
Jean
worked-
Claude. Ah. he
Yeah,
sounds
and I
French.
worked
Yeah.
for like the consigliere, or whatever
Yeah.
you call them. You know what I mean? And it sucked. But like I didn't touch a pan. I didn't touch a pan for 3 years.
Wow.
I cleaned dishes. I
Scrub
learned how
floors.
to polish the silver, just like in that
Yeah.
show. Just then I started doing some of the prep, and then the one day he finally said, online, come online with him,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I started.
Wow.
That's cool.
And that's where I learned everything. I mean, my mother, when I turned 18, she got me a French passport as well.
Uh huh.
which kind of screwed me in the end because
Why?
because at the time there was still a draft.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you got drafted.
And they called my name, and I didn't know
Yeah.
until I went to the consulate in San Francisco to renew my passport, and they arrested me right there because I didn't go to my military service. I'm like, I'm going to school. They said, for what? I said, for cooking.
Yeah.
So they said, bring us proof. So I called my mom. I said, you have to enroll me in the culinary school here in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to prison.
Sure enough.
But you know what I mean. So
Chinga tu madre.
So I did. I enrolled, and the school was.
Yeah, so.
I don't believe in. You learn the best in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Hands on.
You know,
totally, man.
You learn the best in the kitchen, and in schools they teach you. And I'm not knocking the schools, but they teach you theory.
Of course.
You know, they teach you how to butcher a salmon twice. You know what I mean? It's not realistic.
Yeah.
You know, they're teaching you chaud-froid with the aspic, and where the fuck do you see that anymore?
You know, I went to school.
Nowhere.
I went to school, and what I took, and I told this to Theo, Chef Theo, the other day. It's like what I took away from school, you know, was how to be organized, and you know, like my pricing, organization, timing.
Right.
That was it. That was really 90% of what I took away from it. Because the cooking part of it, all that shit, you either know or you don't, and you got to experience this stuff in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Because it's like you can't, every kitchen you cook for is different. Every chef that you cook under is different. So until you have that experience, doesn't matter if you're a college chef because you graduate. No, it's like you're not shit until you actually do the work.
You're not a chef until another chef calls you chef.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
So true, man. So true.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Cool. And it takes a lot of work. That's more harder than going to any fucking school.
Absolutely, and I think it's better. And I think like I did a TRA or a Pro Start.
Mm-hmm.
I judged a competition.
Right.
And it was funny. I was the only one that wasn't like a hotel industrial certified master chef certified. They look like NASCARs. Their chef
all the fucking badges
look like NASCARs.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
And
And it's like, so what does it mean to be like we went out with some of the chefs and drank a little bit and California'd a little bit, and
so you asked
hopefully people understand.
No, they get it.
But I asked him, I said, so what's up with this certified executive chef nonsense?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? I said, that means you know how to like make puff pastry and you know how to turn a carrot.
Did you have to take a test?
Yeah, they have to take a test.
Yeah.
And for me, I consider myself a certified master chef.
Yeah.
I took a test every single night for 16 hours a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what it's really like, like the cooking competitions. I think the Bocuse d'Or is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's still hot food served cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot food served hot.
Yeah.
Cold food served cold.
Yeah. The way it should be.
Everything delicious.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
Nice.
But I know, I'm sorry.
I love it. No, the chinga. It's the booze, papito.
No, I'm
No, it ain't the weed, that's for sure. We ain't having any.
I'm not as thick as you drink.
So that's cool. So would you say that your French roots were do they still inspire some of your dishes and stuff that you come up with?
Well, I think they inspire everybody's dishes.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
I think that's where the technique starts.
Mm-hmm.
But what you choose to do with that technique, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, my mother was a very good cook, and I trained under, very high profile, what you would call a celebrity chef. But, it's just the passion of it all.
For sure.
Know?
Yeah.
I think in the end is just, you have to be a crazy fucker to just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been at it for 35 plus years.
I mean, it ain't for the money. It's for fucking shit.
What money?
What
money?
You gotta love what you do, man.
What money?
I mean, you gotta live, but at the same time, it's like you're not a millionaire unless you're.
But if you enjoy what you're doing, you are living.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Just because you could afford a Tesla Maserati, are you happy?
The Beast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about that?
Yeah.
That cyber.
Oh, dude.
The garbage can on wheels.
Oh, dude, we did a show about that. My buddy Jeff has one.
Yeah.
We'll have to take. Yeah, it's ugly as fuck, but it scares the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Once you
it's
get in
funny.
one, it's a whole nother experience.
Yeah,
I will never.
dude,
I will never.
dude, you know
get
what?
in
We're
one.
gonna probably finish this episode up, and then we're gonna go call him, and we're gonna say, "Hey, man, we're gonna go for a ride," and you're gonna be like, "Fuck."
I'm not going in it. I will.
No, dude,
I
I'm gonna fucking
refuse.
drive.
I refuse.
We'll get you high first.
I could do that on my own. But I mean, it's for me. No, yeah. Car needs to have gasoline and make noise.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
That's
You
a
sound like my
vehicle.
cousin Happy, man.
That's a
We
vehicle.
talked about cars you've had in the past, like 64 Impala,
Yeah.
things like that. Those are true muscle cars, American
Yeah.
cars. A cousin had. I give him a call yesterday. He goes, I'm gonna have this guy on the show tomorrow, man. It's someone that you wouldn't even expect would have an
I'm
Impala.
like Miklos, homie.
Hey, carnales.
I'm the original Miklos.
That's totally. So happy you're listening, man. You got to check this guy out. You'll love his cars. I'll have to shoot you some pictures. You know what? I'm probably going to post some pictures, the ones you sent me on Instagram.
Oh,
be
with the
great.
bikes.
Yeah, of the
Not
bikes.
well,
The bikes and the cars, man.
I was even in a Cholo magazine, a lowrider magazine.
No shit.
It's in my truck, actually. That's in my truck.
We'll have to take a picture of that after that with my Mr. T pointing to
Oh, I
it.
had my Danny La Paz hats and everything.
Yeah, dude. God.
I still have them.
That's the LA life, man. That's the Cholo life.
Boy, Northern California.
Yeah, dude.
Don't say LA. I'll stick you. I'm
cabrón.
gonna have to stick you, Holmes. No,
I know. It's funny because you said country. I was like expecting like 90s like West Coast hip hop or rap or something like that.
I just don't understand that.
It's not for you.
People like. I mean, I listen to everything. I like reggae a lot, which is country music, just not our country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Reggaeton, country
Yeah.
music, just not my country. you
Yeah,
know?
totally, man.
I like those styles of music, right? Like
That's cool.
that are traditional to a certain area.
like some norteño, some tejano.
I like the cumbia with
Like-
the
you
boots,
like
the
cumbia?
crazy boots. With
Oh, I don't know about
Oh,
the
yeah.
crazy boots,
No,
man.
I
Like,
mess with those cumbia tribal boots. Those are crazy.
Have you heard some Tex-Mex music that yet? That have come to life. I mean, because you're
Not yet.
not
Not
yet. Oh shit, man.
I
We're gonna
listen to
turn you on.
Spotify. I mean, I've been to Hondo's a couple times. and
Nah, dude, that's kind. Yeah,
I
that's,
got one that was all Christian country music, so
no mames.
I mean, it sounded good, but
Yeah, it ain't the same. They ain't talking about women,
No,
dogs getting run over. And
they got their God back. They didn't lose their car or their money
or their dog.
wife
They're
their-
fine.
yeah.
Or their tractor.
Right, like they say, what in heavy metal albums when you play it backwards, it's the devil.
Ah.
With the country music records, you play them backwards, and you get your car back, your wife back.
Oh,
You get
that's
everything,
hilarious.
man. Praise the
Yeah.
Lord. Praise the Lord.
back.
Gloria a Dios, brother.
That's crazy. So thanks for coming on, Chef. We really what a great conversation. Every episode we create a recipe based on the episode. And for this episode, the recipe is a family tradition. So it's something that that you've cooked alongside your mom, or something that you remember from your childhood, something that comes from your heritage. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing this week.
Any
Thoughts?
ideas? What are you gonna make, man?
Dude, I don't know.
Mine would be my mother's steak tartare,
Steak tartare.
Oh, nice.
because I had to make it side by side, because now that I spend money on school, you show me how you use your knife.
No mames. And then on top of that, you don't have to fucking technically cook anything, man. You just cut that shit up and put it all together.
But it's delicious.
Mamon, you're taking the easy way out.
I could coco vin. How about coco
No,
vin?
no. You do that.
Yeah,
You,
do
see,
cook
you already
over.
say steak tartare, man. You stick with that shit.
How about reverse spherification of an olive?
No mames.
Oh, that's
No,
El Bully
bro.
right there. Yeah.
Dude, man. What,
That's funny.
what about what did you say? Did you say
So
something?
I don't know. My mom used to make me chicken marsala. It was like one of my favorite dishes that she used to make for me when I was a kid. Like expanded my
Yeah.
my idea of what. It's like I didn't even like mushrooms until she made that dish for me. So then I just love mushrooms. So
Yeah.
definitely changed my mind on that. So maybe that's what I'll make. I don't know.
Right. You know what I've been craving that I haven't had for a long time? My grandmother. It's not my mom, but I remember my grandmother. I would go to the house, and she would have this basket of tacos already made for lunch.
Mm.
And the tacos was ground beef. You just take, your regular beef, ground beef, or, chuck. And it was in a gravy, like she made a roux, so it was like this gravy with tomatoes and onions and it's something simple. I mean, there was nothing else in it. And then she just filled the tortilla, rolled it up, and that was it. It was, I mean, it
So
was not
simple.
rocket. Yeah, super easy, but it was the way she, when she would brown the meat and then, or she would make the roux, brown the meat, and then pour whatever stock or water she was going to do that with diced tomatoes and onions. and it's just all melded together, man. And it was just creamy, yet it's super savory, and it was a fuck, man.
Like canasta.
Yes,
on the bicycle with the baskets.
Fuck yeah, dude. Taco de canasta, cabrón. Yeah, but except it's not folded and it's not fried. Yeah, so it's like my mouth is watering already, man. Shit, and I'm on a diet. Fuck.
You know what's funny too? Another dish that my mom used to make that's like very.
It's ceviche.
Yeah, go mames.
No mames. No te preocupes, no te mames.
No, thank you, Chivas. Sorry, go ahead, cabrón.
I almost wear my Chivas jersey today. I almost did it on purpose.
You should have, but I like the shirt you're wearing right now. Dude, I'm sorry.
That's a cool shirt.
Yeah, brother Theo, man, poor guy, man. We've cut him off like so many fucking times. Go.
No, your shirt's cool. It's I was like looking at it for the longest time, like, what is it? Ninja? No, it's not Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
It's truffles.
Yes.
White and black truffles.
Yeah.
Winter black truffles.
Harry Gore
cool.
truffles.
Yeah, I will.
That's cool.
Did you forget what you were gonna say?
Oh no, a popular dish I feel like here in Texas, in this region or South Texas, is King Ranch. King Ranch chicken. Yeah, that's another one.
I've never heard of that.
That's right, because you're not from fucking Texas, cabrón.
Yeah.
King Ranch is a ranch here
it's
in
a
Texas.
truck.
No, it's not a truck.
It is a truck. It's a Ford F-150, the King
Ranch. King Ranch is a ranch here in South Texas, man.
But it's also a Ford.
It's a truck. Yeah.
It's a brand on the truck.
Yeah, the truck. The ranch came first.
Right, but the leather seats come from the cows that are.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real. That come from, the King Ranch.
It's the largest ranch in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous how it's like the size of a city. It's crazy.
Totally, man.
Yeah, it's a dish that I guess that they created it there. I heard the story one time. I can't remember.
Well, what is it?
South Texas. We'll drive by. Go to Port A, man. We'll take your son fishing. We'll go out there fishing, man.
Okay.
So the dish is normally it's like back in the day they used to, the way I always had it at like potlucks or if like you're going to like a wedding or a funeral or something like that. Mm-hmm. It was just like simple as like toasted like corn tortillas, like shredded chicken, and they would have some like kind of cream based sauce.
Normally cheese,
cheese
and
stewed tomatoes. Yeah,
that sounds good.
But everybody has like different variations of it, and this kind of weird. But it's. I went to Chicago once to train on this chef job I was doing, and they mentioned it when I was up there because they had other chefs working in Texas, and they were like, "What the hell is King Ranch chicken?" So I was like, "What the hell isn't King Ranch chicken?" You know. So I was explaining it to them how I was explaining it to y'all. But
sometimes they put corn, sometimes they put
it's
beans.
It's just kind of a riff of different things. Yeah.
Explain to me.
It's a casserole, man.
Texas
it's a casserole.
Caviar. What is that?
It's
like a black bean salad,
beans,
no?
man. Yeah, black bean salad. It's all different beans, pinto, black, whatever the fuck.
To me, it's got to have hominy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
All right.
Corn.
Okay.
It's a bean salad with corn and
whatever the fuck you want. Sometimes they put like corn chips. Shit like that. Not my that way, made by gringos.
Yeah.
No mames.
It's funny. These are all things that like people take to potlucks and shit, picnics and.
We don't do shit like that, dude. It's black.
No, I was watching some shit on the barbecue thing on the Food Network, the barbecue showdown thing.
Yeah.
And this lady, she's like, she got a culinary background apparently. Mm-hmm. She's like, we're gonna do the Texas caviar.
Mama.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking at it. It's a fucking black bean salad.
You're like, that's not caviar.
I don't understand. I don't understand why it's called that, but
now you know.
That's all right. That sounds good to me. I eat that shit all the time. I make Mexican. I always have like black bean salad in my fridge. Yeah, with corn and everything.
We made black beans, man. That's what I had for breakfast.
You've probably been making Texas caviar for years. You didn't even know you've been making
probably,
it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Fuck, you didn't have to kill any surgeons, man.
Right? And I'm like the only French guy that eats tortillas instead of baguettes every night.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
So maybe a lot of the Hispanic heritage you found relatable here when you came here because it's like California and Texas kind of have that connection.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a little different, man, but I mean,
it's a lot different. I think in Houston it's probably more like what I'm kind of used to as far as like the Mexican culture goes.
The thing is, because in Houston there's a big melting pot of different cultures. Just like in San Francisco, man. I mean, all of California, you get a lot of Asian cuisine. There's a lot of fusion shit going on, right?
Everything.
But when you're in the hill country, you go to San Antonio, man.
Dude,
totally different, man. Tex-Mex in San Antonio, it's hard to find Mexican food, like true authentic Mexican food.
Right.
If you want like something fast, like casual, Mexican food. You go to like Guajillos in San Antonio.
Mhm.
We'll have to go one day, man. But it's like food from central Mexico,
Right.
and so you're eating a good Guajillo sauce, salsa,
Right.
chilaquiles. It's,
Like-
it's just truly authentic Mexican
Like
food.
pipians and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
So you're having you're having good but for the most part it's Tex-Mex. There's Mexican, and there's everything else that's just shit all fusion
Yeah.
shit put,
Right.
put together, which is fine too. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's California. It's a different beast, man. When you
Yeah.
go out there, there.
Yeah, the Mexican food's different, and I mean, the one Tex-Mex place that I've been to here that I like, and I go as frequently as possible, is Leroy's.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
yeah. Barbecue
Pretty good.
slash, yeah.
I love that
Excellent.
place.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it was because it was like the first place I went to, and they were like super nice. And
I have not been there yet.
It's
oh
pretty
my
good.
god,
Dude, I don't
Yeah.
have time. It's too fucking far from me.
Yeah.
I'll go down. You know what? If you want some truly authentic Mexican stuff, right here, right down Mi Plaza, right down the street here, we'll go after this, man. We'll go pick up
Yeah,
a couple
hell
tacos.
yeah.
And it's like, they, the guy is they're all from Mexico. They're cooking
Mhm.
shit, and it's like going to the gas station and going to the back part of the gas station where they're doing the tacos.
Mhm.
The same fucking
Mhm.
shit.
See, we have a
This is
place
good.
like that in Napa too. It's La Luna. It's like a gas station, and they sell pornos and soccer magazines and Gatorade.
Flavorful condoms,
But in
bubble
the
gum,
back, and
banana
like,
flavor.
like everything with Madre de Guadalupe, everything
yeah.
you can find is there.
Badass.
You know what I mean? Rosaries, all that shit. I don't mean to say shit, but
No, you meant to say
You're good.
shit.
in
Go
the
ahead.
back is a taqueria.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
good.
Yeah, dude. Así se hace. That's badass.
Right on.
We'll have to try that shit, man. But anyways, yeah. So now we all know what we're gonna make. That was
I
a
know.
long segment on just what we're gonna make, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't wait to make that. I'm gonna have to make that shit later, this week.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks again for having me, Jean Claude, chef. Very nice to meet you.
JC,
What a pleasure.
Yeah, dude. It's been
My pleasure.
Uh,
This was
we're-
fun.
We have to make our way out to Becker to try your tasting course.
yeah. But first, Mi Plaza.
Yeah, first meet
Yeah.
Plaza. So, anything else that you're excited about that you want to talk about, Chef, before we wrap it up?
No, I'm excited about maybe doing some more of these things.
Oh
It's
hell
fun.
yeah,
It's
fun
dude!
for me.
I'd have you
Yeah.
here every fucking week, man.
Yeah,
if we
dude.
could. But so if the viewers want to find out, what you're doing, what you do, you have an Instagram. What's your handle on Instagram?
So it's TX Hill Country Chef.
Okay.
Chingado, ya no es Cali.
No,
Come on,
I have the I have to get rid of that tattoo. But
add on to it to the other side.
or just hit up the Becker website for the different events that we're doing, and
Yeah,
Awesome.
BeckerVineyards.com. Yeah,
yeah, and I'll have I think we still have room for July chef's table, and I'll be writing the August menu as soon as I speak with the ranchers and whatnot.
yeah. So the end
We'll
of
go
every
from
month
there.
on the Saturday, the last Saturday of every month, which is freaking cool. And we'll post it on our social media as well, man. So if you're out there, you're listening, and you're not following us yet, so we just got our Instagram page up. So Confessions of a Private Chef, our website, confessionsofaprivatechef.com. I know it's long
yeah.
as fuck, but hey, man.
Stop by.
Yeah, check us out. Check out our personal stuff, Dine-In Dude and Chef Leo Aguirre. Just if you can't spell Aguirre, it's, 2 R's make that Rouse sound.
Nobody can say it. What are you talking about?
Aguiure. Aguirre.
Sounds like a newscaster.
I know, man. That tongue works pretty damn good, brother. And then, so
and
check us
eat
out.
FBG.
Eat FPGTX, man.
For sure.
Yeah, Eat Fredericksburg, Texas. So that's social media, man. Check us out. So,
Well, thanks again for having me over, Chef.
Yeah, thank you. This is awesome.
guys, thanks for being here, man.
Awesome.
All right. Talk to y'all soon. Talk to everyone soon. Ciao.
Awesome. Bye.